Going to be talking about making six figures in your online yoga business, and I'm going to be sharing with you 6 steps to get there. Okay, so that's what we're talking about today. Generating 6 figures, 100,000, we'll talk in dollars, in your yoga business. And I want to start off by just sharing with you guys that here at Digital Yoga Academy, one of our values is freedom. We prioritize freedom for all, and internally our team thrives on freedom. We all work virtually, so from choosing when we're working, where we're working, to also having that space to be able to communicate and to celebrate and to really support each other's growth and ideas that we all bring to the table. But also for our community, okay? So for you guys, for the students in our programs, we're all about ditching that endless hustle and, avoiding the yoga teacher burnout that we hear about. And we do that by offering our students, and I like to call you guys the freedom-seeking students, right? You're the freedom-seeking yoga teachers, but we do that by offering our students the systems and strategies to really unlock this flexibility and to unlock the freedom in their business and in their lives. And we really do stand for freedom and abundance and the creation of sustainable online businesses that align with this aspiration that you have as a yoga business owner. Okay, so we're here to support teachers to be able to do that, to be able to break free from the traditional constraints and the beliefs in the yoga industry, okay? Because we've all heard it, haven't we? You can't make money teaching yoga. So it's really our aim to dismantle this outdated notion that yoga should only be taught for free, or that financial success as a yoga teacher and in this space is unattainable. It's simply not true. We really believe that you guys are invaluable. You're deserving of abundance, and you should be recognized for the contributions and the gifts that you're sharing. And of course, one way that you can be recognized is through the money that you earn in your business. So why shouldn't you be making $100,000 a year if that's what you want to do? This actually equates to just over $8,000 in revenue every single month. Okay, so I'm talking about money coming in, okay, sales revenue. I'm not talking about profit here, okay, which of course is minus your costs, to keep it simple. Which, if you have an online business, if you've got online courses and membership and programs, your costs are substantially reduced. Okay. Now, I used to run yoga retreats, and, when I was teaching yoga, I had a successful in-person yoga business in London, and I ran classes and events and retreats. I know the costs of an in-person yoga business. Okay, not just the cost, but the logistics. And so, if we pivot our thinking towards building an online business, making 8K a month in your business, it's 100% possible. Okay, and your profit margins are pretty good as well. So I'm really here to normalize this conversation around making money as a yoga teacher and, making good money as a yoga teacher. Like, you should be making good money as a yoga teacher. And so I'm just going to come straight in and be upfront about what it takes to do this, okay? What it actually takes to do this, to actually, bring that amount of money into your business on a monthly basis. I'll start with this: unwavering determination. Right? Commitment to your goals, like standing in your power and owning your space. Okay? Being an authority in your space. Yeah? Claiming, and this requires being visible, right? Claiming that you're here to make an impact in people's lives, and then taking the actions. This is important, isn't it? We don't just say the words, we have to take the actions to actually do that, right? To actually go about with creating offerings that will make an impact in people's lives. You know, this stuff doesn't just magically appear. We have to do the work as well. And it requires speed, right? It requires speed as well. So, you know, if you're just going to sit around thinking, like, it's not going to happen, is it? You know, if you're going to give more time and energy and space to your self-doubt and your procrastination, it's not going to happen. If you're going to sit in victim mode, you know, asking yourself, why isn't this working? It's not going to happen. Like, this isn't magic, although I do believe in magic, but magic really comes into your life when you're in alignment. You know, when you're committed to your assignment, your purpose, your goals, you're focused, you're taking action. And when you're there, you invite magic into your life because it's the fruits of your labor, really. You know, that's why that saying exists. It's the fruits of your labor. And so, you know, when you're getting the results that you've worked for, it feels like magic. You know, everything's clicking, everything is coming together, and you're on the right path, right? You're creating the legacy that you came here to create. And a byproduct of that, of course, is the freedom, right? It's creating freedom in your life. You know, when you are reaching your goals and you're making money in your business, you're creating freedom, aren't you? You're creating that flexibility because the extra income allows you to be able to do that. All of this is available, right? All of this is possible, but it doesn't get handed on a plate. You can make 6 figures in your business. You can bring 8K a month into your business. Like, that is totally doable. Yeah, it's just a level up. Right? That's what it is. It's a level up. It requires you to really level up into the identity, right, of a yoga business owner who is making 6 figures. You know, I talk about identity a lot in the Profitable Yoga Teacher program, you know, with our students in that program who are focused on, you know, creating their online courses, launching their courses, having their 5K launches, 10K launches. And it requires a different kind of identity. It requires you to really level up and to step into that new identity. This is, you know, a business that you're creating where you have a community of students, a buzzing community of students who are really eager to work with you. You know, this is when you have online offerings that provide that real transformation. This requires you to be showing up, being visible, being that authority that I spoke about, right? Versus the identity of someone who is in lack, essentially, who's in this victim mode, who's only seeing and focusing on the things that are going wrong, right? Does that make sense? If you think about the two identities, they're very, very different, right? They're very different. And so, you know, that type of identity is a different kind of energy, guys. Like, it doesn't get results. It's a different kind of energy, and it spills out into your audience, right? It spills out into the content, into how you're showing up. And it actually attracts students who don't want to pay you for your services. Yeah, let me say that again. It attracts students who don't want to pay you for your services because you're not valuing what you are offering. Yeah, when you're in that lack mode, when you're in that victim mode and that lack mentality, you're not valuing what you have to offer. And so how can you expect other people to value what you have to offer? This is super important. Like, when you understand how important your energy is and your identity, like, big shifts start to happen. Yeah, when you prioritize your mindset and the energetics that you're bringing into your business, big shifts happen. You know, so you must prioritize this. You must prioritize, you know, working on shifting your identity. And so this brings us to step 1. Okay, this brings us to step 1. And this is really about cultivating your mindset and identity. Okay, this is about making that transition to become a leader in your niche space. Stepping into this CEO role. It demands a shift in perspective. Because you're no longer just a yoga teacher. Now you're the driving force behind a yoga business, behind a real yoga business. And this transition involves you embracing leadership, right? Becoming a leader, understanding the importance of growing your business, of scaling, the art of delegation, building a team, offloading, right? Delegating. And, even if it's just a virtual assistant to start with, it's going to allow you to free up your time so that you can focus on your growth. So, many teachers really fear that, focusing on the business aspects or focusing on too much on the business side of things is going to dilute their passion and dilute, their teaching. And really, when we step into being a CEO and understanding that we're a CEO of a business, we're a founder of a business, this is about merging the passion with the strategy. Think of it as really expanding your ability to deliver value to your community and to your students. This is also about shifting how you think about selling. Yeah, I know a lot of you struggle with this. It feels salesy or it feels icky. And actually, if we can alter our perception of that from selling to I'm providing value, I'm serving. Yeah, because actually your courses that you create and the offerings that you create, they're more than just transactions, right? It's more than just something that you can make money from. It's a pathway for your students to get to their results. It's a pathway for you to be able to serve your students, right? For them to be able to get the transformation that you want to offer, the impact that you want to create in people's lives. This is always about impact, isn't it? Ultimately, that's what it comes down to. If we peel back the layers, okay, making 6 figures is nice, but if we peel back the layers about, why you became a yoga teacher in the first place, why you're actually doing this, what is the reason? Why are you doing this? Why did you become a yoga teacher? Why are you trying to build this yoga business? Why are you trying to create a community of students that you can teach, that you can serve? We're here to create transformation. Yeah, we're here to build a business that actually creates a lasting legacy in people's lives, that can actually help to change people's lives. How incredible is that? You get to build a business that helps to change people's lives. This is a really important mindset shift, isn't it, when it comes to selling? And it's really crucial for your marketing to be authentic and for it to be effective, essentially. That is step 1. And it's a huge part of this. It's a huge part of leveling up to become a 6-figure online yoga business owner. And it's really about how you cultivate this mindset, how you step into your role as a leader, right, in your business, with your team, with your community, and how you really start to take on the identity, right? How you live that new identity, that level up into that identity of this business owner who is doing epic things, right? Who is changing people's lives. And as a result is making some good money that's giving you freedom and flexibility in your business and in your life as well. Okay, so that's step 1. Step 2 is really about the vision that you have, right? It's about the vision, but also the business model that you adopt in your business. Okay, so I mentioned before about, in a previous life before Digital Yoga Academy, or in the first few years of Digital Yoga Academy, I was also teaching yoga and running events and running retreats. That's a different type of business model, okay, to the online business model. So the step 2 is really is the process of crafting this big vision for your business. And a big vision is something that a visionary creates. Okay, so you're building a 6-figure online business. You're a visionary, right? You are leveling up. You are stepping up. You're not just a yoga teacher who is going into a studio to teach classes. You're building a business and you need a vision for your business. Okay, so share with me in the chat. Do you have a vision? Do you know where you want to take your business? Do you know what it looks like 5 years from now or even 10 years from now? What does that look like? And, you know, you're this leader who has a vision for where you want to take your business. Okay? Every journey starts with a vision. Every journey starts with a vision. So, you know, you can close your eyes. Let's all just close our eyes for a moment and just imagine a life where your passion for yoga aligns with a thriving and profitable online business. Like, visualize the impact that you want to make, the freedom that you desire, the lifestyle that you're really yearning for. You know, this vision it's not just a dream, is it? This can be a blueprint for your future business and for your life. Okay? So what we want to avoid here when we're thinking about our vision is being too vague. Right? We don't want to be too vague. And also we don't want to be too rigid, right? Our vision needs to be clear, but it also needs to be adaptable as we grow. You know, things happen. More ideas might come, and they will, of course. More ideas are definitely going to come as you start to step into this role as a leader and you level up into this new identity. Trust me, the ideas are going to be flowing. When you're in alignment with your assignment, the ideas are going to be coming. Okay, so what we do want to make sure is that the vision that we have for our business is rooted in a business model that supports the growth that you want to create. Okay, so for example, you have a vision that you want to reach people, you want to reach students all over the world. You have a vision that your business is creating real impact in people's lives, that you're building a legacy, a movement, right, that creates freedom in your life, in your family's life, that creates income that you've never had before, you know, money that enables you to do great things in your business and in your life. It's like not just in your life, but money is an enabler, right? It helps you to do greater things in your community and create greater impact. So if all of that is part of your vision, and tell me if it is, tell me if that resonates, tell me if that feels good when I say those words, but if all of that is part of your vision, an online business model opens up this opportunity. Yeah. And there are many online offerings that you can choose from. You know, you can have on-demand classes, live workshops, you can have an online membership, you can run online retreats, online courses, programs. Tell me in the chat if you have any of these things already. Are you offering any of these online offerings? And you can offer many things, but just teaching online classes isn't going to cut it. You know, a lot of teachers make the mistake of thinking that teaching online means teaching classes inside Zoom. It's not just about selling classes, right? It's about selling experiences, creating and selling, but creating experiences that enhance your students' lives. You know, teaching online is your opportunity to do something different to what you do in the studio, right? It's your opportunity to create real transformation in the lives of your students all over the world. And people need more than, you know, a drop-in yoga class on Zoom. Like, that's not what this is about. Of course, you can offer that as a segue because we want to be strategic, right? We're being the business owner, we're putting the CEO hat on, so we become strategic, right? We can use our classes as a pathway, as a segue, as a funnel into our online offerings that are scalable, that are more sustainable for you, right? That are more sustainable for you, that are more enjoyable for you. because you get to go on a journey. We're not just showing up for the hour in Zoom. We get to take our students on a journey of transformation. Okay, of course, this requires work. We need to understand what that transformation is, right? There's some steps before this, but this is what we're talking about. Yeah, this isn't just, oh, I'm teaching online, I'm teaching drop-in classes on Zoom. People need more than that. You know, look at the world. People need more opportunities for healing. The online business model that opens up this opportunity and opens the doors to this vision, if this is your vision to be able to create that type of impact in people's lives, is your online course. You know, this business model offers scalability. You know, you can create an online course, you create it once, you can sell it again and again and again. You can serve many students with that one course, that one online asset that you've created in your business. What does this allow you to do? What does this do? You know, if we think about one of the things that we hear with yoga teachers who are just teaching in yoga studios, they're burnt out, aren't they? They're the teachers who are burnt out, the ones that are relying on teaching 20 classes a week to pay the bills, that are traveling from studio to studio. Yeah, they're the ones that are burnt out, exhausted, not having time for their own practice. And so, you know, when we adopt an online business model, you know, even if it's a vertical, I'm not saying don't teach in your favorite yoga studio, but add an online business model into your business, an online income stream into your business to help avoid the burnout, right? Or to avoid the burnout. We don't want to go there. We don't want the hustle. We don't want the burnout. And so, you know, if we go back to step one, you creating and launching an online course requires a different kind of identity, right? It's a different energy, isn't it? This is you being the authority, the expert. You know, knowing that you are expert enough to create an online course and teach people what you know and take them on a journey of transformation that solves a real problem for them. And you are expert enough to do that. You are good enough to do that. Like, there are billions of people Googling solutions to problems every single day. How often do you open up Google yourself to Google a solution to a problem that you have, right? There's people doing this every single day. This is what we do. And so your course, it solves a problem for a specific type of person with a specific need and a desire. Okay. So step two to getting to creating, to building a six-figure online business is to have that vision and to make an online business model part of your vision. Okay, it's crucial. It's absolutely crucial. Do the sums, guys. How many classes are you going to have to teach to make six figures, to make 8K a month? How many classes do you have to teach versus if you have an online yoga course that's, you know, priced at $500, let's say, how many of those do you need to sell, right? It's easy. Do the sums. Okay, step three is getting clarity on your audience and your messaging. Okay, so who exactly are you serving? We need to dive deep here. So when I said in step two that there's some steps before we get to actually creating the online course and launching it, the foundation of this is who are you serving and what is the problem that you solve? What is your message? What are you putting out there into the world so that you can attract the right people into your space and into your community? Like, you have to go beyond the demographics. You know, it's not, oh, they're female, age 20 to 30. Like, you need to understand their motivations, their struggles, what brings them to the yoga mat. You know, this deep understanding is crucial. You know, it's going to inform everything that you do, right? It's going to help you to create everything that you create in your business. You know, every aspect of your business, from content creation to course development, to the marketing, the messaging, the sales activity that you do. You need to know this stuff. So what we want to avoid is making assumptions, okay? Because quite often, I mean, that's what we do. We make assumptions because we don't want to do the research. We don't want to do the work. So we want to avoid that, because there's power in doing the work and doing the research. And, you know, when you decide on your niche and you decide on who you're serving, so hands up here, who has done that? Who's done that already? Who's already done that? Share with me in the chats, in the comments, if you've done this already. Have you already decided on a niche? Okay, notice how I say decide. It's not necessarily about choosing or finding. We're not finding our niche. We're deciding, right? Because business owners make decisions. We decide on things, we go with it, we make it happen, okay? So when you decide on a niche and who you're serving, you need to do the research. And even if, you know, you were that person 5 years ago, which most of the time we are a niche, right? We were there 5 years ago or even 3 years ago. Your research, and that's why we make assumptions, okay? Because we're like, well, I was that person, so I'm just going to make assumptions on this. But the research that you do will go a long way in really creating effective messaging that's really going to speak to your people, okay? Your messaging, it needs to really strike a chord with people. You know, there's a lot going on in the space, isn't there? Like, we can all agree. There's a lot going on Instagram. There's a lot going on Facebook. There's a lot going on everywhere. YouTube, TikTok, in our inbox. There's a lot going on. And so we can't have wishy-washy messaging anymore. And definitely as a six-figure business owner, you've done this research. You are super clear. You have clarity on who you're serving and what your message is, right? And if you've got different offerings, you know what your messaging is for each offering, okay? So that takes it a step further. But that's where we want to get to, okay? So we want to be in a space where we are echoing people's thoughts, right? We're answering their questions, we're providing solutions to their problems. And so validation of our niche and the course ideas that we have and what we want to put out there, validating those things is crucial, okay? So we need to run surveys, we need to do, get feedback, do beta testing, we need to do all of this stuff, okay? And it really helps you to make sure that when you launch, right, the things that you are launching is in demand, right? You know that people actually want and need them before you invest your time and energy into developing your course, okay? Because I've seen this happen. When someone has put a course out there and they're like, I didn't get any sales. And then we go back, did you validate? No. Okay. Go back and do the validation. And then they launch it and they get the sales because now they're speaking the right language. Okay, step 4 is content creation. So your content is the bridge between your vision, which was step 2, and your community, your audience, which is step 3. Okay, so this is how we educate, okay, just as I am today. We educate, we inspire, we build trust, okay, by showing up, by being visible. And it's not just about quantity, okay, because, you know, anyone can just churn out content. This is about quality, okay, quality and consistency. That's really the two key things here. And one of the biggest mistakes here is inconsistency, okay? That is not in alignment with the 6-figure visionary that I've been speaking about, okay? Being inconsistent, that is not a 6-figure business owner. The 6-figure business owner is not inconsistent, okay? They're showing up, they're being consistent. So it's not in alignment with that. If we go back to our vision, like, we can't expect to be living out our vision if we're being inconsistent with our content and our visibility. Okay, and I know that this can be one of the biggest challenges, especially when you're just starting out. I asked a question in the Profitable Yoga Teacher community in our group. This is our student group last week. And I asked, do you have a consistent flow of paying students? And if the answer is no, ask yourself, where am I being inconsistent? Okay, because as we know, life is a reflection, isn't it? Everything is a reflection. So the sooner we understand this, that life is a reflection, the sooner we can shift how we behave and how we're acting, how we're showing up, you know? So the answer then is to show up consistently, isn't it? You know, show up consistently in your business and students will show up consistently in your business. You know, people say, oh, how can I be more consistent? You be more consistent. The answer is in the question, really. The answer is in the question. I know that's such a simple way to answer that, but that is the answer, okay? So it's the answer for anything, really. How can I do this? You do it. Okay, so, you know, of course we need to be consistent and we need to show up with the right strategies and having the right funnels in place that allow that flow of students to come in and allow us to convert them into paying students, right? That's important. We need the strategies. We need the funnels, guys, right? We need to be creating sales funnels, marketing funnels in our business. So you do need that, but show up consistently with that, okay? What we want to avoid as well is being overly promotional. Right? You know, our content, it needs to offer value. Okay. So whether it's through, you know, being educational or inspiring your audience through your stories or with your student stories or offering, you know, practical yoga tips, whatever it is, but engage with your audience. You know, if you're on Instagram, make sure you're using reels, right? That's where it's at, right? That is where it's at. Make sure you're doing the reels, make sure you're doing the carousels. Do all of that stuff. Be on stories, be showing up, respond to comments, foster this community around your content. If you don't do it, they won't come, right? You need to be doing it. And so the other thing here with our content is we want to mix up the content types, don't we? We want to be doing videos. We want to be, you know, creating content on our website, blogs, so that we've got that SEO and discoverability. We want to be doing live videos. Yeah, we want to be doing podcasts. You know, if you're a student inside one of our programs, you learn how to repurpose your content. You learn a process for doing this. You also learn how to use AI to help you with this. So it's all there. There's strategies and processes and systems to make all of this a lot easier, okay? Because I know when I'm, you know, sharing it like this, it can feel like, oh my gosh, another thing that I need to do. But actually, we need to be savvy in the way we do it, right? We need to have processes. We need to have systems. We need to have a method to the madness to make it a lot easier, right? To make it a lot easier and more enjoyable, right? Your business should be fun. It should be enjoyable. You know, when you're showing up and connecting with your community, that's enjoyable. Like this for me is like the highlight of my week when I get to come into the Facebook group and see you guys here. I get to connect with everybody here on Instagram. It's the highlight, okay? So each one of these different content channels can connect with different segments or different people in your community. You know, some people want to listen to a podcast, some people want to read something, some people want to watch something, okay? So the more you mix up your content in this way, the more people you're going to reach, okay? So be flexible around that. Okay, step 5, and really it builds on what we've been talking about with the content aspect, but also this is about visibility and it's about reach, okay? So visibility is essential. You'll hear me talk about visibility all the time, and it's not just enough to create the content. We need to make sure that it's reaching the right people. Yeah, don't we? We need to make sure that it's getting to the people that we want to reach, okay? So that's step 3, isn't it? It's understanding who we're serving, what's our message. And so your goal with your community is to become familiar, right? You want them to know who you are. They're not just someone they followed one day on Instagram. You know, the more you're showing up and being in their space, and hey, now you're in their inbox as well because you've got that opt-in freebie that they've now got, and you know, they're getting your emails as well, and you know, maybe now they're also following you on TikTok. You know, that you are becoming familiar and you're becoming more visible. And so that builds trust, doesn't it? That helps you to become that trusted name in that community, right? In that space, in that niche space. Some other ways you can do this is to collaborate, right? Who can you collaborate with? Who can you collaborate with? You know, who are the other yoga teachers out there and the brands and the influencers that you can work with? Okay, so this is really, it's not just about amplifying your reach, but what it also does is it positions you as an authority in the space. Okay, so imagine in your niche space, your ideal student is following lots of different people centered around this topic. If you now start showing up with these people, suddenly, you know, you are becoming an authority in the space. You know, they're seeing you with this person they follow, and they're seeing you on that person's blog and on this person's podcast. You know, you're a big deal now in their eyes. Okay, so you want to be doing these things. You want to be thinking about, how can I, you know, increase my reach and work with people in order to also increase my authority in the space as well. Being visible is also linked to your identity. Okay, so going back to what I shared right at the very beginning and also in step 1, but being visible requires you to overcome the fears of being visible. You know, I know this is a fear that many of you have, or many of you have been working through. And so this is about consciously working on this, consciously working on moving through the fears that are keeping you stuck from showing up, from doing the lives, from doing the stories, from doing the partnerships and the collaborations that are stopping you from doing all those things. Essentially, what's it doing? It's keeping you small. And again, if we go back to the identity of someone who is making 6 figures in their business, someone who is being the visionary, that person is not here to mess around, right? He or she knows their mission. They have a vision for their business. Okay, they're working on their goals. They know that they're being visible. They're reaching out to partners in their space. They know that that's essential in order to increase their reach, in order to lift their expert status. Okay, they do those tasks to reach out and network. They don't sit on it knowing that it's something that they should be doing, and they just don't do it because they're not prioritizing it. That's not what they do, right? The visionary is not doing that. You know, that's not visionary identity. That's playing small, right? That's deciding to stay in fear. Yeah, that might sound like a bit of tough love, but that's essentially what it comes down to. Really, you know, it's this identity is not that. Is not saying, oh, I'll do that tomorrow, or oh, I'm a bit too scared to reach out. You know, it's pushing past that. It's pushing past that because you've got a bigger vision. You know that you're here to create impact in people's lives. And that means we need to get over ourselves, right? You know, when we've got a bigger mission here and we want our business to actually create impact and a legacy, we have to get over ourselves, guys. We need to push past that fear. We need to make this vision much bigger than that fear that's keeping us small. Okay, step 6. Step 6 is about the funnels, okay? I love a bit of funnel chat. It's about the funnels. It's about your launch methods, okay? And as I said, this isn't about just posting a reel and having no real strategy. You should be thinking in funnels. Okay, your sales funnel is the journey that your students take from discovering you. Okay, so maybe they've come across a piece of content, maybe they discovered you on someone's podcast. That journey from when they first find out about you, okay, to becoming a loyal student. And each stage that they're going to go on, each stage of that funnel, from awareness to creating some interest in what you have to offer, to creating this desire to make a decision, do I want to work with this yoga teacher, and then taking action, okay, so that's when we're converting them, okay. This journey, it needs careful planning and strategy. It needs us to be strategic, and it needs execution, right? We need to take action, and we need to put the funnel in place, okay? It doesn't just magically appear. So, this is where, having a website, landing pages, email sequences, these are the things that we need to do. We need to put our business hat on. We need to implement, okay? It's what it comes down to. It might feel like the boring things, that we don't want to do those things, but as the visionary 6-figure business owner, these are the things that we need in our business in order to be able to make that 8K a month. Okay, so we just have to suck it up, don't we? Essentially, this is where having support, coming into programs where we're teaching you how to do these things is essential. Like, you don't have to work these things out on your own. You don't have to be that person that's Googling, trying to find out how to do all of this, okay? So when you're creating your offerings, when you're creating your online course, you're going to be going through a launch process, guys. Okay, so this isn't posting on Instagram and saying, hey, I've got an online course, come and enroll, come and join me, or sending one email out and then calling that a launch. That is not a launch. Okay, we need to create anticipation. We need to, nurture our community. We need to bring them into some conversion events. We need to have email sequences and campaigns that are going out. Okay, there's lots that goes into actually launching your course. Okay, so step 6 is the funnels and the launch methods to actually get our course and our online offerings into the hands of our students. Okay, those students that we've been bringing into our community, the students who we know, who we're serving. We've got that messaging that speaks to them. We've got a vision for where we want to take them. We're creating an online course that we've validated. We're showing up, we're being visible, we're doing the partnerships, the collaborations. People are coming in, there's trust that's being built, and some of those students, some of those people in your community are coming into your online courses and helping you to make that 8K a month, that's going to allow you to build the 6-figure business. So there you go, guys. I've shared with you 6 steps today, and we've journeyed through these. They're pivotal steps, really, to building an online yoga business. Okay, and remember that each step that I've gone through is interconnected, right? It's building on the next. So step 1 was really about our mindset, wasn't it? It was about the leadership. It was about the identity. Cultivating that identity is super, super, super important. And then step 2, the big vision that you have. Where do you want your business to be 10 years from now? Do you know, right? I know that all of you want to build a business for years and years to come. I've heard you say that we're not just building the business for the month of February. And, what does that require in order to be able to build a business that's giving us the freedom that we desire, right? It requires an online business model, that's going to move us away from that hustle, from that burnout. Step 3 was getting clarity on your audience, getting clarity on who you're serving, the messaging that you want to share to be able to attract people into your community. Step 4, content creation. Super important, right? That content is what helps us to move people through the funnel, essentially. Super, super important that we are showing up in different ways. Step 5 was visibility and collaborations and reach. And step 6, of course, is having funnels set up, marketing and sales funnels and launch methods in our business that allow us to move people through a journey and allow us to actually make the sales, to make money in our business, which, as I said, let's normalize that in the industry. Let's normalize yoga teachers making money from teaching yoga, okay, and creating freedom. Thank you so much for joining me. what I will finish on is, the path, this pathway to a 6-figure online business, like, is challenging. Okay, there's a lot to do, but it's immensely rewarding. It really is. So embrace these steps, right? When we have steps, we can chip away. And when you embrace them, you'll not only achieve, the financial success that you want to achieve, but you're also going to deepen your impact on your students and ultimately the yoga world, right? The space that we are all operating in. So if you've loved this training, do send me a message. I love to hear from you guys.